Big news for small businesses who claimed an ERC credit. The IRS says you can withdraw your claim if you are unsure about whether your claim is legitimate or not. The IRS has given a process for you to withdraw that claim. This will affect tens of billions of dollars, nearly 1 million small businesses. So in this video, I'll quickly explain this option that the IRS released late last week. Briefly, what defines if an ERC claim is legitimate versus illegitimate, who should consider withdrawing claims, and importantly, I'll show you how you can withdraw the claim if that's the path you want to take. It can be a little confusing. I'm going to keep it very simple for you. As always, thanks for tuning in. Be sure you're subscribed so you never miss out on any funding related, grant related, or other important business related news. As you may know, back in September, the IRS froze the ERC program. What was the reason for this? Well, the IRS had referred thousands of claims to be audited, had initiated over 250 criminal investigations involving nearly 3 billion in potentially fraudulent claims. It's a whole long article about how aggressive marketing companies over the past year and a half were pushing businesses of all shapes and sizes to apply for the ERC credit, essentially to the tune of, don't ask questions, we'll get you $26,000 per employee. And many of these allegedly have been scams. So this may be you or someone you know. There's been 3.6 million applications, 600,000 are still pending. So that pending bucket will stay the same because the IRS has said they will not start accepting new applications until January 2024. So there's two questions you want to ask yourself. And again, this is not tax or financial advice. It's best that you talk to the company that helped you with your ERC refund. Number one, did you have employees and pay them wages between March 13th, 2020 and December 31st, 2021? Did you have W-2 employees? If you didn't, you probably aren't eligible for the ERC credit and you shouldn't have applied. Question two, during that time, were you a self-employed individual who did not have employees or a household employer? If you mark yes, probably not eligible for the ERC. Question three, did your trade or business experience a significant decline in gross receipts during the eligibility periods during 2020 or the first 3 calendar quarters of 2021. Obviously, ERC decline is quite broad, so if you want to take a look at what specifically that means, you can do that on the IRS FAQ. So if you didn't pass those 3 questions, you certainly may want to consider withdrawing your ERC claim. Another way to think about this is if you know the company you worked with is potentially a scam or fraudulent, you're unsure about how things were done, this is your opportunity to withdraw the claim. Here's a quote: the IRS is increasingly alarmed about honest small business owners being scammed by unscrupulous actors, and we could no longer tolerate growing evidence of questionable claims pouring in. Questionable claims pouring in. The further we get from the pandemic, the further we see the good intentions of this important program abused. So who can withdraw an ERC claim? Here's the checklist, 4 bullets. You made the claim on an adjusted employee tax return. That's typically forms 941X. Number 2, you filed your adjusted return only to claim the ERC and you made no other adjustments. Number 3, you want to withdraw the entire amount of your ERC claim. And number 4, the IRS has not paid your claim, or if the IRS has paid your claim, you haven't cashed or deposited the refund check yet. Again, I would love to hear in the comments, are you planning on withdrawing your ERC refund? Or do you think anyone would? To be honest, I really have my doubts about how many people are going to go through this process, but just in case it's you, there are 3 scenarios to keep in mind. And by the way, if you knowingly submitted a fraudulent ERC claim, withdrawing your claim is not going to give you amnesty. According to the IRS, they're still investigating people who may have intentionally misled, committed fraud, or tried to scam the system. But if you think the company you worked with maybe made some mistakes, maybe put down inaccurate information, the amount you're getting was too high, here's how to do it. Make a copy of the adjusted return with the claim you wish to withdraw. In the left margin of the first page, write withdrawn. Here it is in purple. Again, in typical IRS fashion, pretty low tech. It's all about printing the form, sending in paper that gets put in a pile somewhere, and will probably be looked at in 3 to 6 months. Then on the right-hand side, put your name title, your signature, and the date. That's over here in purple. Then fax this signed copy of the quarterly return. Again, if you're doing multiple returns, you need to do this for all of them, to the ERC claim withdrawal fax line 855-738-7609. This is your withdrawal request to keep your copy with your tax records. If you haven't received a refund and you've been notified your claim is under audit, if you've been assigned an examiner, communicate directly with them. If you haven't been assigned to an examiner, respond to your audit notice with your withdrawal request using the instructions in the notice for responding. And C, if you've received a refund check but you haven't cashed it or deposited yet, prepare the claim withdrawal request in Section A, but don't fax it in. Then write void in the endorsement section on the refund check. Include a note that says ERC withdrawal and briefly explain the reason for returning the refund check. Make copies for your tax records. And 5, the best part, mail this to the Cincinnati Refund Inquiry Unit. Yes, this is going to Cincinnati. Wherever you are in the country, for some reason, the folks in Cincinnati get this great opportunity to help make sense of this. And here's the address right here. So what happens next? The IRS will send you a letter telling you whether your withdrawal request was accepted or rejected. Your approved request is not effective until you have your acceptance letter from the IRS. In terms of timing, they've put down no timelines here. I don't think this is going to be quick, but following this news from September, the IRS probably got a lot of inbound requests, people unsure about if theirs was accurate or not, and they said, let's formalize this. And to their credit, they gave a process for withdrawing your ERC claim. Would love to hear what you think about that. And if you're looking for other funding opportunities and grants, go to helloskip.com. Take a look at all these new grants on the Skip dashboard, including some that are due this week. Most importantly, stay well, stay healthy, and I'll see you in the next video.